In the upper right, in the blue, he is Reynor.
Shopify Rebellion's finest. It is the Red Terran. Give it up for Mr. Byun. Sometimes like to call it the House of Shopify Rebellion, or the Rebellion of the Shopify, or something like that, you know, just jazz it up a little. Don't know why I didn't do it this time, and then decided to do it anyway, but then also in a monologue version, which is a little bit silly, but feels like we're pulling through. Ooh, hatch first. Surprise, surprise. No, not really, actually. It's it's gonna be looking around for the proxies with the Overlord. And yeah. Double gas here for Byun. Where's his barracks? What in the... Where is his barracks, actually?
Wait.
He's building one.
Where is it? What?
Oh, wait, no. I'm crazy. That's not a gas, that's his barracks. Look.
What?
I thought it was double gas for some reason, but no, it's the gas on the left. Yeah, my bad. It just looked like it may have been, but both gas are on the left side of the base. There you go.
That's an interesting setup. I mean, on the one hand, it really does delay the scout of any Overlord. So maybe that's something. I mean, we do see...
Yeah.
We've seen TY do something similar where he's going for like early barracks pressure, like a quick 1-1-1 or something. He'll kind of put the barracks out of the way, just make it hard for the Overlord to scout in the main. But this is just Reaper expand.
It's a little Reaper expand. Yeah, the Overlord's still gonna see the Reaper here. It's not really a... Yeah, well, it's an interesting one. I guess the tech lab or something like that wouldn't get disturbed if there was a Ravager push coming or something like this. Not seeing anything of the kind. Reynor just gonna macro himself into a third base, it looks like. We're gonna move along those lines for a little bit here until we have Hellions on the fields. Maybe some Cloak Banshees. We'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, I mean, of course, you know, Reaper expand 1-1-1 Hellion Banshee. That's the default at this point, and I don't know that we're going to see Byun really start to deviate from the mold of kind of your traditional standard TVZ in game 1 here on Hardwire. You gotta figure. It's funny. We have what 3 different races, 9 different matchups in this game, and okay, well, it's gonna be factory into command center. So as I say that, interesting setup. Normally you kind of go, you know, it's 3CC play, or you go 1-1-1 into a third base. It's kind of an interesting middle ground that we got here from Byun, just trying to, again, trying to find economic leads, trying to do what he can. But before we saw Byun do something slightly different, is he will get that creep tumor. Very nice.
Ooh.
I don't think, it's funny, when TVZ has probably the least variation in matchups of any matchup, right? DVP has tons of stuff. The mirrors do as well. TVT's got a bunch of different options. But TVZ is pretty standard. As I say that, approaches, weird third timing. It's fine.
Yeah, I mean, there's still some options, right? I guess the global structure of the match is going to stay very similar, like the objectives and the win conditions of the two teams, regardless of what they do, right? Usually the Terran will try to do some harassment, and the Zerg's is going to try to adapt and react. The roaches here. He's still making drones as well, so it could just be a safety amount of roaches, just in case this is a Hellbat push or something like that.
Exactly. So yeah, with the roaches, I kind of thought we were going to see the 34 drone kind of roach timing just based off the roach warren based everything. But yeah, no, Reynor, he's going. I'm sorry, yeah, so he does have the roaches moving out on the map now. Byun will get the first scout here with the Hellions. And he's going to say, hey, wait, there are roaches here. 2 Hellions will go down. Byun will be forced to lift his command center up eventually. There's not really enough here yet. We got a bunker on the low ground, bunker on the high ground. Bunker on the low ground, by the way, will not complete. As, well, it really is just a target. It's telling Reynor, hey, pay no attention to the man behind the curtain. You'll knock down my bunker. It's going to be fine. But the bunker on the high ground actually is going to come into some issues as well. Byun going to be forced to pull some SCVs here. Things are getting a little bit dicey here for a Shopify Terran.
That third CC together with the, well, just Hellion aggression, I guess. You don't have that much firepower to deal with this. The SCVs are tanking quite well, but they are expensive losses right now. 10 of them going down, 11 will be broken. That's a good start there for Reynor to this match.
Yeah, 11 workers will go down, but at least Byun was able to force Reynor back in some way, shape, or form. And Raynor's just choosing to return home now. He's like, okay, look, Stim is done. We're fine. I don't want to make too much happen here, which is fair. He has gotten 11 workers. He's now up 30 supply. He has his fourth base underway. The one thing we're...
Double the workers.
Sorry?
Double the workers, actually, it was.
Yeah, very much so. But the one thing we're quote-unquote worried about... Byun is going to have 1-1 far in advance of Reynor. In fact, Raynor's Evos, they're not even done yet, which does mean that there's maybe going to be a timing where Byun has a lot of army. He has a very powerful army. He adds on Marauders or tanks or something, and is able to just really punish this 0-0 Roach push. Because yes, it is going to be 1-1 eventually. As on the one hand, Byun being punished for this extremely early open, or this extremely greedy opening, going 3 CC, double Evo, or double eBay, getting his 1-1 just about right now. Theoretically getting punished for this by losing 11 workers, by having to pull the SCVs, doing all that. But if he's able to build up enough of an army, and right now his army supply is equal to the Roach player, with of course Roaches 2 supply, Ravagers 3, incredibly supply inefficient. Well, he does have a timing where he can make something happen. Now, eventually 1-1 will be done. He'll lose that. And I don't believe Byun has an armory, which means his second tier of upgrades are going to be a little bit slower. And he's not going to have that massive, say, 2-2 timing advantage.
Yeah, you gotta cut some corners here, I suppose, as Byun, and then the upgrades. One of the more easiest ones to try and make. A good couple of pickoffs there on some expensive Ravagers. So there wasn't that much DPS available for Reynor. Byun allowed to just kind of sit there, weather the storm, try to heal up away from them now. After taking some, or making some kills happen there.
Yep.
How would you want to see Byun try to get himself out of this? Just pure multitasking, harassment, or... Ooh, not like that.
Well, there's room here. Now, of course, we have... Oh, I love the spores here from Reynor. Really taking advantage of the fact, or understanding the weaknesses of this composition. I wanted, when he was at equal army supply, maybe get a push there when it was 1-1 versus 0-0, but Byun really only kind of multitasking. But now we got the big sledgehammer of Reynor coming on in. We saw a laser try to do this to Bunny in the previous day, yesterday. Didn't work out for him at all, but Bunny was able to really out multitask a laser in that game, really start to just cause problems. As the Queens, again, they have been pulled. This is all in from Reynor, even as he does start his 2-2s. He just starts some more drones, I mean.
More drones, yeah.
It's fine.
He's like, all right, well, if you're going to float that third, I guess I don't have to commit as much. Right? Because he's going to 5 bases right now. If he leaves Byun on 2 bases, he can sit here for an eternity. It's going to be perfectly fine. Byun knows this as well. He needs to get rid of these roaches. His siege tank just a little bit far out of the... a little bit too far to shoot at these roaches, but... Well, he needs to keep poking into this, though. I feel like you got to make use of those medevacts with the heal. You want to poke, shoot, heal, poke, shoot, heal. Try to get the roaches into the siege tank. There we go. Just keep this army busy and keep microing. Keep microing backwards.
Yeah, I gotta say, I'm very surprised to see Byun keep trying to take this base instead of just saying, look, your entire army is on the left side. Let me float my command center over to the right side. At least I'll be mining. It's fine. And again, here's the downside. There is 1 tank. Well, there are 3 tanks here. Yeah, Byun's baited him in now. But we will see 1 tank go down. The Biles are going to be fantastic. But the army of Reynor here is starting to go down. Granted, the army of Reynor is still insanely big. He's now almost triple the army supply of Byun at this point. The upgrade lead is no longer there. We're going to start to see a bunch of Biles go down. The command center is burning. Is it going to go down? SCV, the hot repair, but it means a bunch of SCVs are going to go down too.
Oh, that was close. Yeah, I mean, maybe Byun just really feels like he has to take care of this army as well. Otherwise, if he does move places, maybe it's just going to rotate with him. I'm not quite sure, but well, it does feel like he has to get rid of this army as quickly as possible so he can get across the map again and start being a nuisance there, because look at this, Reynor's already getting lurkers. His hive tech is almost done. The +2/+2 is going to finish up around the same time as it is for Byun. Things are looking so good for Reynor here. That third base now actually destroyed. No way you're going to repair that back from the little bits and pieces scattered around in that area right now.
Yeah,
it's rough.
Yeah, I mean, losing the third base, the Roaches just kind of all in on that one. They said, look, a 2-base Terran, yeah. I'm not scared of him. And especially when Reynor is on 5. So the bases go down, as you said. Lurkedon's on the way. We have Hive is done. That's going to be a free medevac just because why not? GG. Michael Jackson falls to Ricardino. In the blue, he is for Clash Esports, the reigning world champion, Reynor. Oh, I timed it out wrong. There we go, Reynor.
And his opponents. Red Terran from the House of Shopify Rebellion. Give it up. Put your hands together for Byun. As we hear the entire world applaud in unison for these two players. As everyone's watching. The Queen of England on the edge of her seat.
What is going to happen here between these two players? Please tell me, Kozan. Someone.
Republicans and Democrats all bunched together now underneath the underneath the banner of esports, watching Reynor versus Byun. Sweating. We're all sweating. We don't know what's going to happen. That's the problem here. Byun, we are, hopefully he's going to get a little bit more of a foothold in this match. The previous one, it's just a bit disappointing, right? Seeing a small batch of Roach aggression do that much. It is obviously the right choice of strategy there for Reynor. Byun taking a bit of a risk, and then just getting punished. Reynor, that's what you got to do. You can't blame him for it. It's a well-picked strategy. And Byun's going to have to consider whether or not he's going to attempt that again, or if he... Okay, well, no, that's just the second one. Okay, I got worried for a second. But yeah, whether or not he's going to attempt that again, or if he's going to try to mess with this beast in another way.
Yeah, I mean, I'm loving the greed from Byun in this series. I mean, he's had some really cool builds. Unfortunately, Reynor... not even scouting that Byun was being greedy. I just preparation ahead of time, telling him kind of what was up, what was happening, because
I think he had an overlord on the third CC as well.
Did he? Okay.
Yeah.
But I think the Roach Warren was down by then. By the time that happened, because the Roach Warren went down at 3:30, and
anyway, it was early. Yeah, it was an early Roach Warren.
Yeah. So
you think he was just planning on using that anyway aggressively, or maybe he was trying to have an option for a defensive tool?
No, 330 Roach Warren is never a defensive tool. 330 is I'm getting aggressive here. Again, it's the 34 timing. You build 6 roaches, 34 or 32 drones, and you look to get aggressive across the map. It's not 19 drone, but still, it is aggressive here. One of the first 2 Marines will get caught out. Nice job there from Reynor. And you got to remember, this is Byun's only map control right now. He went reactor first off the barracks. There is no Reaper here in this game. And yet he can build 4 Marines at a time, but losing 1 early is going to be a bit annoying. And what this will do is it will bodyguard for the Overlord that's going to try to find its way on into the main base just a little bit later. Now, that being said, it's not going to quite be successful in that endeavor, as the Overlord's going to go down anyways. No scout for you, not in this game. Reynor does not know... Well, he knows one thing. He knows that there are 6 Marines on the map.
You'll never know what I'm doing, like with 6 Marines shooting at him. You won't know what production I have. But, yeah. I mean, he's probably going to have to take into account, right? Probably with that amount of Marines, usually they arrive with medevac, with a bit of stim as well. But, in fact, we do have the Banshees coming in.
Yeah, but no Hellions. And we had a tech lab coming down on this factory. And we have no... Is this just going to be like a 1-1-1 all-in from Byun? I mean, he's building tanks. He's building Marines 2 at a time. He's building Banshees. But he's not building, any tech that goes with these Marines. Or the tanks, for that matter.
Yeah. quite quickly with the tanks. You think this is just gonna be just a combined push with the Banshees and the Siege tanks? Oh, don't get scouted now. Alright, that's good. He's not gonna have Stimpak with this. So maybe he just wants to be defensive with the Siege tank because of the previous game with the Roaches coming in?
Yeah, maybe. And we do, of course, see the factory has been lifted. So it was just for that single tank before, I believe we're going to see the barracks go over. So, yeah, okay. Yeah, this is just, it's a defensive tank. It's 3rd CC. And he's just going to try to get aggressive with 2 Banshees. When was the last time you saw Banshees not paired up with really any other sort of ground pressure?
You know what? I don't think I remember. I don't think I remember. It's more common to have battle cruisers like that, I guess. But well, even then, the Hellions usually a part of the mix. It's an interesting way to do this. Like, I'm very interested to see what he's going to be able to do with these increased marine numbers, right? Because those minerals, instead of Hellions, he's got more marines right now. And to me, the idea straight in my head would be to translate that into an earlier timing attack with Stimpak. Or just have more potent of an attack in that timing. We'll see. Oh, that's a bit of a miscontrol. 8 drones, though, so far. That's pretty good. 9.
Yeah, so looking at this a little bit more, I think what Byun was doing, right? So he went reactor first. He had a lot of Marines. Most importantly, he showed a lot of Marines. And by the time the Banshees came across the map, again, there was no detection. That was because I think Byun was presenting this as a 2-on-1. He said, look, I have a lot of Marines. We're going to go there. Meanwhile, it is Banshees. It is the kind of the defensive tank. So we have Reynor absolutely setting up for a 2-on-1. We see a bunch of Lings on the map. It's about 20. It's not quite the 2-on-1 number, but it's getting there. Bunch of Queens in the front. Like, he's defending for the 530 timing for 2-on-1, depending on whether it was 3rd CC or not. And that meant the Banshee got 9 worker, or the Banshees got 9 worker kills. Byun still has his 3rd base up. This build has worked pretty well for the Korean Terran thus far.
Yeah, I agree, man. It's a very fun thing to kind of see this slight adjustment and just leave out a staple unit that pretty much everyone uses all the time, especially in this matchup. And yeah, I'm still curious, right, whether or not it's going to be worth it, yes or no. So far, those Banshee kills on the drones, they have been nice, but it's nothing game-winning or game-deciding in this type of sense. Still has a couple of moves to make for anything like that can be said. This is a really good one. Those queens are going down. At least 2 of them.
I mean, yeah, you're correct. It's only 9 drones, and that was when he was above 40, so it's not 9 drones much earlier. But, I mean, look at the timings here from Byun. 1-1 is done. 1-1 only maybe even halfway done for the armor, not even for melee. Bailing speed is halfway done here. Byun has a lot of tanks. He's got +1 tank attack on the way, and yeah, combat shield's not quite there yet. But Byun, he just has every sort of tempo lead in this game in a map that is actually a rather short map. Curious Minds is not big at all. And yeah, Reynor's trying to set up a around here, trying to make something happen, but Byun, well, I guess the only downside to where he is right now, he does not have that army spot lead. Is now Reynor looking to spring his trap, get on top of this before the tanks siege up, but all the Bailings go down. Byun, the target fire on the last one. It's just a bunch of Lings down to upgrades. The Queen's gonna move on forward. Byun takes this fight so damn hard. All the Queens are gonna go down. The army goes down. Byun pushing on in, says, I don't even need the rest of these Queens. They're not relevant anymore. Byun pushing into the heartland of Reynor, and just like that, he found his timing.
Oh, wow. Bailing speed just about to finish up in 5 seconds. It is incredibly close. Will Byun try to commit up on top of that ramp? No, he won't. He is on creep now as those Bailings are running in. The siege tanks go. Oh, that target fire was phenomenal. GG. Well played, Byun. Taking Reynor to school in that second game. Wow. That was something new. Something pretty cool. That attack had a lot of firepower. Just skipping out those Hellions, it's a very interesting option there. So kind of, in a way, both those games, the player that lost getting caught off guard, right? The Roaches not being seen coming in or not seeing that the potential threat of them is a very real threat. And then as well, just Reynor just kind of getting caught off guard first, not expecting the Banshees, and then not expecting as much firepower coming out of that little... Is there a gap there?
I don't think so. I think
I'm
that's
not
kind of like
sure.
one of those fake gaps where you're like,
Ah.
it looks like there is one, but there's not.
Yeah. But you try to run all your links through, and then it's like, yeah, okay, that didn't work.
Is BeoMulf going gasless in this game? I mean, I don't know that you can go gasless as a Terran, but there we go, gas coming down. There is a build that Special does, where he builds double barracks at his natural. He builds Reapers out of that, and goes from there. But again, gas is not here, and it's going to be Marine out. I wonder if Byun is just doing this to catch the Overlord in the middle of the map, getting it a little bit closer to where the Overlord path is going to be, so he can get Marines on top of it, and just really deny scouting from Reynor in this game. I think that's probably the play here. Oh, there is a gap. Okay.
Interesting. Maybe he... No, wait, can you now... No, he's not even placing that second supply depot there. I thought maybe with a gap you might be able to get away with barracks and 2 supply depot wall, and then have the gap, but... Huh.
Yeah, again,
Well-
Byun... Yeah, so it's going to be a 2-on-1 here from Byun, but a weird building placement to do is we will see this Overlord get zoned out. He doesn't see anything outside of the fact that, hey, there are 2 Marines on the map, which doesn't really tell him all that much. He's like, okay, well, you just didn't open with a Reaper. That's fine.
Yeah. So is that regular supply depot there? He's gonna have to send one of his... I mean, he's making 6 links, right? Instead of having to fight that Reaper, he now knows he can use... He's making 2 more... Oh, no, they're still from the 6, I suppose. No, he is making a lot... Oh my god, that's a lot of links.
Yeah, and here's the thing.
Huh.
Pulling some out of gas is normal. But most Zerg builds, they don't pull 3 out of gas. They pull 2 out of gas, and they say, we're going to go from there. He is flooding... Yeah. He's got a third base underway, but this is a fake. He's going to be able to catch these Marines in the middle of the map. Byun does have a full wall. This much is true. What is Reynor doing in this game?
It's one expedition force I'm very happy I'm not a part of. That's 3 Marines right there. Oof. Yeah, just more and more links. He is going to go for a big flood, but he needs to hit us right before that wall is finished. You don't have gas for baneling, so you can't do a baneling bust. That's a reactor there now. It looks like a solid wall. Like, what is the plan here?
You just catch him off guard. Marines are out. Byun, he has the wall up. So
Does he not know there's a wall here? Does he just not know?
I mean, I don't know. 3 Marines will go down. Sure, DPS
He
in this
must have
army
not
going
known,
down.
right?
But there's a repair.
Like, you can beat this with, like, 5 SCVs and a single Marine behind it.
I mean, looking at the supply depot on the right side is starting to get low here. There's maybe not quite enough service area for these SCVs. It's burning, but not enough. Reynor gives up.
They weren't repairing for a long time there. That's the only reason. That's the only way this could work if Byun forgets to repair. This is abysmal for Reynor. I think he just completely misread the situation and wasn't anticipating the wall off on the natural instead. You know, if you have that command center on the low ground there, this is entirely different, right? Reynor takes full control of the low ground, and Byun is just stuck on one base for an immense amount of time. And this is entirely different. Now, instead, Reynor I'm trying to find a nice way to say this. He just royally, absolutely, kerfuffled, all right?
Yeah, he misread things. And now it's a 2-on-1.
Yeah.
That's too bad. It's 3 Marines at a time. Stim is done. Byun getting ready to move across the map against a player that has had to just drone to try to catch up, which means he's not going to have nearly as much. I wish we saw how many queens he has. I've seen Reynor do this before, like, again, on kind of standard builds where you're like, okay, I'm just going to run through the wall, and suddenly you're going to be dead hitting that timing. But not against this build from Byun. I mean, this is just kind of almost a perfect counter. Reynor being a little bit too fancy for his own good. And yeah, is Byun really going to be able to break into Reynor right now? No, a lot of links have been made. There are a decent amount of queens. It's fine. But the timing is just the amount of concessions that Reynor has had to make in this game. Medevac goes down with 7 Marines inside. That takes a lot of pressure on the map here, off the map from Byun.
If Reynor still wins this game, I'm gonna be so impressed. Like, how many links did he even make? That is so insane.
He lost 26 from that pressure, and then And there were like a significant number of, I think there was like 40 lings pressuring in. And yeah, Reynor, he has an economy now. But what he doesn't really have is an army or tech. I mean, that being said, this is a 2-on-1, so Byun is single medevac, not double. Or single EV, excuse me, not double, although single medevac is also true. So, you know, he's not going to have the 1-1 versus 0-0 timing previously stated. But again, it's 2 tanks. Byun does not have a third base underway. Well, he does have a third base underway. Never mind. He's not. Third base is not on location yet, but that's fine because the push here is really the problem. It's 2 tanks. It's a bunch of Marines. +1 is just about done. Reynor, he's gonna have to survive on the counterattack. I'm not sure that's enough.
I don't know. I think he's gonna go for the defense. Does he have the Baneling Nest? Because I'm not. Oh, it's not done. Okay, yeah, he might be dead.
I love.
He might very well be dead.
Yeah, this is an interesting macro hat's positioning, though. It does kind of make a force field. It makes it maybe a little bit harder for Byun to push on in. But the 4th base will be canceled. We're starting to see Queens get target fire down here. Byun, of course, he's going to waste some DPS on a macro hat, because why not? But these lings they just cannot engage. Now, Reynor, excuse me, down to 3 hatcheries here. He's got a lot of money he just cannot spend because he didn't have a lot of Queens early. His hatchery was, you know, for lings. He wasn't building anything. And now, well, we have the 3rd base done for Byun. His orbital is underway. He's adding those 2 additional barracks. +1 armor is underway. He just keep pushing on forward. No sense in throwing things away. I mean, he's in a lead. The onus very much is on Reynor to make something happen.
Yeah, I wonder why Reynor didn't decide to send some of his links to the other side, you know, trying to wait for reinforcements or just coming in from a flank so the Marines can't micro backwards as well. He's kind of on the job right now with those circlings, and he's got banelings here also. He's lost the base, but if he stabilizes here and he is making the 2 hatcheries, so his macro, oh boy, that is gonna go down.
There we go.
Salvageable.
Yeah, will be canceled. I guess the saving grace of Reynor for now is he does have a lot of Queens. He's been pretty much constant Queen production since he's realized that he has to find some way to come back into this game, and that's not great. So, but on the flip side, it's a lot of Queens, it's a lot of Queen energy. He's doing a pretty good job of making sure he survives there. And honestly, while he's taking damage to his bases, his drop defense is really good, right? He is not really allowing Byun to find any foothold inside of kind of his interior 3 bases. He is still mining off of this, and he is only at 3 gas. He is doing everything he needs to do to make sure that his mineral income is significant for the game state. It's not great, but it's better than it could otherwise be. His +1 melee is just about done. And yeah, while Byun does have a 1-1 versus 0-1 timing, he will eventually have that 1-1 as well. Reynor's doing everything that he can to make this work, but it's still terrifying.
Yeah, just what he has, like, I keep looking at just the overall supply and the workers that he has and the army supply that he has, and I see those Zerglings and Banelings walking around, and I'm just curious as to where did this all come from with the opening that he had. Where? It's magic. We're not playing the Red Cross game so far, right? There's not people feeding him money right now through donations, as far as I know, so...
I mean, this is a massive surround coming on in here from Reynor. Just lots of lings, but the tanks are going to get surrounded. That being said, they got like 4 or 5 shots up before they did go down. You know what? That was such a good surround there for Reynor, but it did not matter because he had double tank shots firing strong. So much of the Ling army of Reynor died, and now Byun still does not have that army supply lead that I keep expecting. Well, actually, he has a little bit, but not the massively expanding army supply lead that I expected to see. But again, this is because Reynor has been building only army, trying to make sure that he does stay alive here. As Baneling's Lings come firing on in, but there are 4 tanks, and yeah, or excuse me, 5 tanks. Yes, 2 of them will go down, but a lot of Banelings do go down in exchange. Byun, he has his army now pushing together in earnest. A bunch of tanks here outside of this 4th base for Reynor. How many times, Kozan, can you lose a 4th and still hope to win a game?
I think this might be the limit. This might be the limit. Reynor's he's held on for a pretty reasonable time, but yeah, he just can't keep up with the punches anymore. He's lost too much just overall momentum in the early parts, and I mean, it's amazing how well he's still staying in this and how much work he's still being able to get done, at least defensively. It's been a while since we've seen an aggressive move out of him, but yeah, the writing is kind of on the wall.
And of course, the timing we're looking at now, 2-2 just about done here for Byun. It's going to be ready in about 20-25 seconds. The upgrades for Reynor will not nearly be that nice. So 2-2 versus 1-1 timing, as we have to, of course, have tanks pressuring the third, which means Byun has plenty of time. He can go into the main, have some fun with that, drop back into the natural, just really ping-pong between the pressure points that Reynor is trying to defend. And now, 2-2 done in 5 seconds. We have creep spread being removed. Reynor trying to expand on the bottom right side. And you know what, as disastrous as this game has been for Reynor, I gotta say, the way he's holding this game is impressive. As this push to the right side will get cleaned on up, but that just gives Byun license to jump on top of all of these queens. Energy only lasts so long here, but still, some of them will still live. They will buy time for the Lings of the Banes to find their way on in, buying time for the additional upgrades of Reynor to come in. But even, actually, these tanks are gonna go down. Byun had to lift up. He's not gonna be able to drop down too many of his Marines in time. Once again, Reynor kind of holds. And
there's
again,
another drop on the bottom. Yeah. I mean, he's holding, but this is one of those things with Zerg, right? If you're just continuously stuck in this situation, which is what's happening to Reynor, he's not finding anything on the other side of the map. He's just engaging the Terran where the Terran would like to engage. And if you keep trading like this as a Zerg, you're gonna run out of steam. You need to get other stuff done. You can't just keep pummeling into a pre-set up Terran. Okay, these siege tanks, they weren't sieged yet, so... But then again, yeah, it's just not enough. GG.